Hey, it's me. So, I want to share something that's been really powerful in my own inner work. Something about how we grow and evolve as human beings. There's different stages we all move through in our consciousness. And even though they overlap and aren't always super clear cut, they do help explain why we sometimes get stuck and how we can move forward. So, the first stage is called automatism. Automatism. It basically means we're on autopilot. We react without even thinking, like a knee jerk emotional reflex. These reactions often come from old experiences and false beliefs that got imprinted on us when we were younger. Most of the time, we don't even realize we're doing it. What's tricky is that even as we grow, we still have places inside where we're not fully conscious. We think we're making choices, but we're really just reacting from old wounds. Now, it's not our fault. We all do it. But it's also why we can feel disconnected, stuck in the same patterns, or like we're not really living fully. The next phase is awareness. This is where we start to recognize those automatic reactions and say, oh, wow, I've been doing this thing over and over, and I had no idea why. It's hard at first because our ego doesn't like to admit we've been stuck. It wants us to look good, be above all that. But the more we get honest, the freer we become. Awareness is a big deal. It's like turning the lights on in a room you didn't even know was there. But awareness isn't the end. Once you see the reaction, the next step is understanding. Understanding is deeper. It's not just, I know I get triggered. It's now I see why I get triggered. You start to connect the dots, where it all came from, what it reminds you of, what belief you took on because of it. You begin to see that maybe your anger or sadness or fear actually made sense at the time, but now it's outdated. It's just running on autopilot, even when it's no longer needed. And then comes the last phase, knowing. Knowing is something you feel in your bones. It's not just a thought, it's an inner truth. When you know something at this level, you don't have to talk yourself into it. You are it. The healing happens on its own because you're not trying to force anything anymore. You're just aligned with what's real. When you really know the truth about yourself, about others, about life, it brings the sense of deep peace. The chaos, the confusion, the inner tug of war, it starts to fade. Things click into place. You don't feel the need to control everything or figure it all out. You trust. You soften. You breathe deeper. And here's something beautiful. You don't have to be fully healed or perfect to feel the kind of peace. You just have to be present. Present with where you are right now. Whether you're in confusion, anger, sadness, or joy, when you meet yourself honestly, you're already in the process coming home. That's the path. From reaction to awareness to understanding to knowing. It's not about rushing to the end. It's about honoring each step. And as we move along this path, we begin to understand one of the most powerful truths. Real control doesn't come from tightening your grip. It comes from letting go of what you don't need to hold on to anymore. When you stop trying to force or avoid, and instead allow life to move through us, that's when we find real strength. That's when we feel grounded, even in uncertainty. So, if you're in a place right now where you feel like you're reacting without knowing why, or like you're stuck in an old pattern, don't be hard on yourself. Just start by being curious. Ask, what's really going on here? That question alone can shift everything. Remember, you're not broken. You're unfolding. Keep going. Love you. Connect soon.